Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Failing Noon Dota 2 tournament. Here we have Tong Fu versus Invictus Gaming. It's a best-of-3 series. Once again, sorry about the delay. I had a little bit of technical issues here before we got into the draft, but we're here now. Remember, this is the best-of-3 series in the semifinals. Obviously, the winner will move on to face up against Team DK. The loser goes and faces LGD in the third-place decider. But thank you for joining us right now, guys. My name is Walt. With me tonight is Baskip. How are you doing, sir?
Yeah, doing very well. Really looking forward to this best-of-3.
10 seconds.
It should be an exciting one because I think both of these teams have been playing pretty well. Obviously, Tong Fu, they had a little bit of a rough time up against LGD in the WPC Ace League, but they're here now against Invictus Gaming. They had a great best-of-3 series between Speed Gaming. I think it's going to be a real strong showing for them right now if they can get Zhou going here. They already have some good ban-outs, as you can see, the Visage as well as the Bristleback. They're going to go for the Clockwork here. Standard stuff so far, Baseskip. I mean, nothing too crazy right now.
Yeah, nothing too surprising just yet. Yeah, this is very familiar, I guess, compared to what we were seeing over in the round of 16. So, no Timbersaw, no Alchemist. Clockwork's going to sneak through, but that's only because IG are going to get rid of the Bristle. And coming into this, I would say that IG are probably the favorites. Like you mentioned, Tong Fu have been having some problems recently. They've been alternating who's drafting.
10 seconds
I think they had a pretty strong showing against Speed yesterday, but I also don't think Speed were necessarily 100% on form. So this is probably going to be a tough one for Tong Fu, but I think they're still in with a chance.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with you. We'll see how they can play here and what they get. They grabbed the Rubik and the Lifestealer with their first couple of picks right now. Before we go any deeper in the draft, I want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas. Obviously, a little bit after Christmas right now. Hopefully, everyone had a good day, good holidays with the family, just relaxing, maybe even watching some Dota. I know you and I basically were talking a little bit about, Christmas shopping, things of that nature. Hopefully, you got all that done before the 25th dropped.
Yeah, I managed to sneak out and get the last little bit of stuff done, and yeah, had a good Christmas. How about you, Mon? Oh, and your birthday as well, I guess.
Yes, yeah. I mean, it was actually really nice. It's always nice to just sit around, just chilling with the family, not having to work. Obviously, is pretty nice as well. But I got a new monitor, so I'm streaming in 1080p for the first time, which is really nice. So I'm pretty excited about that. That's always a good thing. But
okay, sweet.
Yeah, I can't complain. The Razor pickup coming out. This is a second pick Razor pick, interestingly enough, for Invictus Gaming. You don't see that a whole lot, but still, I think it's warranted considering what they're going up against right now.
5 seconds remaining.
Yeah, and I mean, whenever we see this Lifestealer pickup, we sort of have to mention that it takes a lot of. You have to do a lot to really set up the Lifestealer, and IG look, we don't want to have to deal with Razor and stuff getting banned out. We're just going to take the Razor right now. If they want to throw even more hate on the Lifestealer, there's still Shadow Demon and Bane is the pool in the pool as potential supports. So we'll see how this works out for Tong Fu. I think it might be a little bit early for the Lifestealer pickup. That we'll have to see. Just because now they probably have to diversify a little bit and pick up something else for mid. Maybe get a semi-carry in one of their other lanes, just because I think the Lifestealer is already in for a pretty hard time.
No, I agree with you too, because maybe last patch you'd see Lifestealer get picked up at this point in the draft, but right now I'm not sure it's really necessary. Just well, there's a good chance somebody's going to pick up a Razor or something along those lines. Well, we're going to go for it anyway. So that's what they do. There's a couple more bands coming, the Nyx Assassin and Storm Spirit, which I think is a nice band to combo up. Tong Fu could easily pick something up like that and grab it with the Lifestealer, have some Infest Bombs going out, and just give Invictus Gaming a real tough time. But no, that's not going to happen. They do counter out the Bane band coming out here, and Invictus Gaming are saying, well, that's fine. We still have the Razor available. There's a couple other heroes we can pick. If I had seen it a little bit more, maybe say Beastmaster mid, but I don't see that happening considering, I don't know, the hero just isn't seen a whole lot, which kind of makes me very sad, but that's okay.
Yeah, Beastmaster was a hero that I was expecting to see a little bit more of in 6.79 just because of some of the vision tweaks and the new random Roshan respawn. I was expecting, we saw a lot of Venomancer. I was expecting, okay, maybe we'll see some Beastmaster. Having an additional ward on the map at all times is always super helpful, but no, it hasn't really been the case. So Tong Fu gonna start digging into their bonus time a little bit. IG can already just run the Razor on mid if they want to, so they've still got space to run a duo core, and I guess the tough thing for Tong Fu here is how they also maybe get up to a duo core lineup if they want to. I don't think they can really take something like DK for mid. He has a pretty hard time against Razor, though I guess he does still do all right if they really need a semi-carry for mid.
Yeah, I think DK it's okay. It depends on the situation. I mean, obviously you talked about against Razor, especially with the static link. DK, his base damage is pretty high, I feel like, but He does
10
rely on that
seconds
damage, obviously, the
remaining.
last stand, other than Breathe Fire, which could be okay against the Razor, but I'm not sure.
5
He would
seconds
get,
remaining.
I think, out-harassed very easily. He does have the, of course, Dragon Blood, which is, pretty effective for
Reserve
armor, which you
time.
do need against that Razor in the region, so... They do pick up a Disruptor for Tong Fu right now, which is a very interesting pickup, something we've seen a lot more recently, and I like this against a Clockwork. If he hook shots into you, you can obviously just come some back, and all of a sudden that fight becomes a whole lot easier, and your teammate's probably saved in that scenario.
Yeah, nice way to break the static link as well. So it does help out the lifesteal a little bit in that way. I think it's just going to be a support disruptor, so it does leave Tong Fu's supports a little bit light in terms of damage, just because it's only Rubic and Disruptor. They've each got like 1 damage dealing ability, and that's about it. So expect Tong Fu to hopefully get some damage out of their offlane and their mid, because right now team fights are looking a bit tough. Lots of control, but not much damage.
Agreed. And control is nice, but you have no damage to couple it up with. It might become an issue. Obviously, if the Light Stealer gets fat, if the Rubik and Disruptor can get levels, you might have some more damage with Fade Bolt or Thunderstrike, but you really can't rely on that early on in the game. So we'll see what they want to do with their offlaner. Like you mentioned, they do have to pick that up, more likely than not. And the mid laner as well. Shadow Demon's going to come out for Invictus Gaming. I like this pickup a lot because you do have the Demonic Purge. Obviously, Soul Catcher, a very
10
underrated
seconds
ability
remaining.
as of right now. I mean, you go back, a year or so, and everyone's like, well, Shadow Demon's probably the
5
most picked up
seconds
hero in terms of
remaining.
support, but not really anymore. I mean, we've seen him come in a little bit more, but still, it
Reserve
might be a
time.
tough game for Invictus Gaming. But I do like the pickup for them.
IG's turn to pick.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a fantastic all-around pickup here. You've got Shadow Demon's kind of your old school counter to the Lifestealer. You throw the Demonic Purge on him. It becomes pretty easy to kite him around. And the Bane, as we mentioned, has already been banned out. Also really good with the Razor. Either you can link somebody and then disrupt them, or you can end up just disrupting the Razor if he's being focused. Because that's the one thing about Razor. He's very reliant
10
on just not
seconds
being
remaining.
bursted down at the start of the fight. He needs that little bit of extra
5
survivability, and
seconds
Shadow
remaining.
Demon can go a long way to helping him out in that regard. So I really like the pickup here for IG.
Yeah,
Reserve
it's all
time.
around good and provides that offensive capability as well as defensive. So they have a lot of utility with that hero, to use a buzzword, I suppose. Mirana's going to come out for Tong Fu right now, which is good to set up arrows. They have the Rubik already with telekinesis. Open Wounds is okay to do it with, and even Disruptor if you can hit a kinetic field. So I think Mirana and Arrow are good. Obviously, Moonlight Shadow is a ridiculously good ability. So we'll see if they can grab a couple of pickoffs with that Sacred Arrow.
Yeah, and they definitely needed some damage as well. So picking up the Mirana, I don't know if we've seen much offlane Mirana these days, though I guess just duo lanes could be an option for Tong Fu. But yeah, nice pickup. Can do all right if it ends up 1v1 mid against the Razor as well. So I think good so far. And well, actually, IG going to be the ones to
Tong
pick up the
Fu's
DK here.
turn
So
to
it looks
ban.
like safe lane Razor, I guess.
Yeah, that it's looking more and more like that, and I don't mind it because Razor actually has such flexibility. I don't mind that at all. You get him farm as well, and he could do okay. He's not the most farm dependent hero in the world, but he still is actually very effective with an Aghanim
10
Scepter, and
seconds
SMY could
remaining.
always be useful. So I don't mind it at all. They do need another support right now that
5
does well up
seconds
against the
remaining.
Lifesteal. I guess the core of the entire team of Tong Fu really, and there's still a couple left in the pool, but a lot of supports banned out thus far, and there's another one going through from Tong Fu. They're going to make sure that
IG's
Chen doesn't come
turn
in
to ban.
and cause havoc with the roaming ganks from any sort of, I guess, creeps that he's got. Also, Hand of God is really annoying to deal with, so just take him out of the pool altogether.
Yeah, again, the thing for Tong Fu is that they just need to feel confident in the
10
fact that they're going to have
seconds
enough
remaining.
damage to kill both the DK and the Razor. And because this is looking like a safe lane Razor,
Tong
right
Fu's
now
turn
he is
to
going to get
pick.
his farm. He is going to have a couple of nice survivability items on the way. So IG actually get rid of the OD here. I guess the one thing that's worth mentioning as well for IG, if they're feeling super confident, they could potentially run an aggressive tri-lane. Though I don't think it's not clear that that's the right decision. It's just if they feel that they can outdo Tong Fu in the 3v3, it would make the game a little bit easier.
Yeah,
10
but at the same
seconds
time, you
remaining.
talked about is that really the best move, especially with a Shadow Demon Razor? It's not like the
5
best
seconds.
Yeah,
tri-lane
it's a
heroes in the
gamble
world.
for sure.
Exactly. So they do pick up the Doom for Tong Fu. Here we've seen
turn
more and
to
more of,
pick.
and Doom is going to be coming right now, as we'll see Tong Fu pick that up. They've got their probably, is that an offlane Doom potentially? Because we've seen that before, solo safe lane, and then they run an aggro tri-lane, and then actually I'm not sure because that could be, I don't know. This entire laning situation is all screwed up in my head. I can't make sense of it here.
Yeah, it'll be a little bit clearer, I think, once we see who's playing what, but there's definitely plenty of options for
10 seconds
both
remaining.
teams here.
I like that for Tong Fu. I like the versatility they have. Enchantress, so they ban out the Chen, and they say, well, that's okay. We'll take the Enchantress for IG. They're going to pick that up for Banana, and I like this a lot because they have that pushing potential with the DK and with the Enchantress together, and I think it's very effective. Plus, you have Nature's Attendance, a nice bit of health, and more damage coming out from Banana as well. I like it a lot. So we'll jump into the game. Here we go. All right, guys. So I apologize for the early game, I guess, shenanigans, jumping into, of course, the draft, and there was a bit of issues there. But we are going to jump into the game. Finally, it is a best-of-3 series between Invictus Gaming and Tong Fu, ladies and gentlemen. A reminder that, of course, after this series, the loser of the series will move and go on and face LGD Gaming in the third-place matchup. The winner goes on to face Team DK, which will be a little bit later today. I think they said 21 CET. Is that correct, Basekit?
I didn't check the time in CET. I know that the remainder of the tournament is being played out today. So
okay, well,
when exactly that's happening, I'm not sure.
We'll let you know about it once we get further confirmation here. But before we get into anything here, let's talk about the teams a little bit. Let's introduce some heroes and players. On the side of Tong Fu, we'll have San Sheng on the Disruptor, Kabu will be on the Lifestealer, Zhou will be playing the Mirana, so that is going to be a farming Mirana. ZSMJ will be up on the Rubik, and to round it all out, Mu will be on the Doom, which means maybe a mid lane Doom. I'm not sure. Either way, I'm interested to see what happens here.
Yeah, I mean, typically Mu is your bid for Tong Fu, and I don't know if they shuffle things around too much, just based on heroes, but anyway, I guess very quickly over on IG, we've got Banana on the Enchantress, we've got YYF on the offline Clockwork, we've got Ferrari heading towards mid as the Dragon Knight, Faith is going to be the Shadow Demon, and I Don't Care, otherwise known as How, is going to be on the Razor.
That's not a very, it's not a very get your team going kind of statement. I don't care. Seriously, you're going to have that as your tag in a best-of-3 series to decide to go to the finals of a tournament? I'm just saying. Come on now.
It's it's an intimidation tactic. I don't know. I'll try and sell it.
That's like an NA Dota thing. That's an NA Dota tag if I've ever seen one. You'd see that in NAL any day of the week, but whatever. I'm sure it's fine. But so far, actually, ZSMJ is going to be mid on the Rubik as of right now. It looks like dual lanes coming out for both sides down here in the bottom lane, which means the roaming Enchantress up in the top lane. Going to enchant the Hellbear Smasher for now. Moo's looking for Creep to Devour, and then he's probably going to roam mid, and then I guess ZSMJ will get out of here. Not before he telekinesis Ferrari back on the high ground, but still, nothing too crazy as of yet, I suppose.
Yeah, nothing too crazy happening so far. A little bit of damage being dealt to Kabu top lane, some body blocking going on as well from the Smasher. Can they get the next clap down? It's almost up. Kabu's used his salve as well.
Yeah, he's in some trouble here. He's got no rage. There's the first blood going for Banana. You mentioned it. I mean, that was good body blocks coming up for Banana. They did really well with that gank. So Kabu will TP back top. He'll try to get more farm here as, that's unfortunate, but he can still get back rather easily. ZSMJ has run down bottom, so they're looking for maybe an aggressive tri-lane here. And we talked about maybe IG doing it, but it looks like it's going to be Tong Fu. And this is really good because they have ZSMJ. With the lift into arrow from Zhou, I think damage can be had, and Tong Fu can maybe get an easy kill if somebody gets out of position down here.
Yeah, the question is it worth it? Because Kabu's getting zoned pretty heavily on top lane, and I think Banana's just going to stay up here and keep on applying pressure. So we'll see. Tong Fu might have to consider moving some supports up to top lane just to deal with this. So I really like the decision from Banana just to start off immediately over in the dire jungle. Looks like he kind of suspected what was going on with these lanes.
Yeah, and he's already sort of paid off up there with that, first blood onto Kabu. I think that was a really good play coming out from them. They don't necessarily need these heroes down bottom either, obviously. I mean, your Enchantress is going to be in the jungle anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But with that, we will see Kabu trying to get back into it with 5 last hits, clearly. I think Tong Fu has to be very aggressive and get something done down in this bottom lane. It's okay to farm, but against a dual lane, like I said before, Razor doesn't need that much, in terms of items. He can still do fine without them because he has static links. So maybe I'm wrong about this. What do you think?
Yeah, I do think this is a pretty big investment for Tong Fu if they don't get any kills out or anything like that. Oh, YYF gonna drop top. Kabu just solo kills him.
Well, I guess he's back into it suddenly, out of nowhere.
Yeah, there we go.
So, getting back into, I guess gear is Kabu, and he will take some damage from his Centaur Con, maybe some creeps, but he's fine. He's really happy with that kill on YYF, and so I guess, that's fine. You invest a lot of heroes bottom, that's okay, as long as Kabu can trade equally or, close to trading equally with that kill up top. There's going to be a little bit of a pause coming up from Zhou, as Mirana's still last hitting down here. Let's take a look at the last hits right now. Moo's actually doing very well. 15 last hits for the Doom up against the, Dragon Knight here, who has Breathe Fire. It is only level 2, but still, that should be a good enough nuke to at least harass Mu. He does have 2 points in Scorched Earth, however. I don't know, this is an interesting little lane we've got going on. 2 melees.
Yeah, and I think it's actually kind of lucky that Mu managed to pick up the